So it sounds like your the obstacle is the way. My extreme ownership. Like that book, I was sort of like navigating towards that world, and the way he put that, he succinctly in that one book, and then the way Jocko delivers things is so simplified, and that's
Matter
a
of fact.
that's the wrong word. And I've been trying to get better at using this word. I think the better word is minimal. And I think I'm gonna get on my little soapbox. We're gonna get back to your slide here, but I love the word minimal because when you say simple, it implies that there's not the you know levels and levels and levels of complexity behind it. You were able to take and synthesize and communicate clearly. To me, that being minimal is so difficult. Um, and that's why I use that word. He. But I that extreme ownership, like it's what you literally just explained was like, yeah, the manufacturing wasn't quite right, but I designed it and ordered it,
Mhm.
and I've gotta own this thing. And that thinking about things that way, I mean, that really did change my life in terms of, business and money and the way I approach everything. And man, that's such a I feel like that's where most of everything that we get wrong starts.
Yeah, it's so
Or
easy just to
ends.
say, "Oh, this belongs to this person," "This problem is your
Mhm.
problem."
Yeah,
Okay,
like
if you're on a team and there are different pieces of ownership there, maybe it's talking about what went wrong and seeing how could I have played more of a part there. But,
sure.
ultimately, if it's just passing the buck or just
Mm,
things in a negative light for the sake of it,
mhm.
you're not really owning it. And then
Mm-mm.
what happens is you never actually get through that failure. You've just
Right,
kind of pwned it off.
and you linger on it.
Yeah.
Especially in a team, the same stuff keeps happening over and over. That's what
Yeah.
I've found. That you
Until
keep making
somebody
the same
says,
mistakes.
"This is my problem now,
Mhm.
and it will not be a problem again."
Especially in a world where, like, I think about teams and stuff where everyone else in the team is sitting back thinking, "Hey, this is somebody else's problem," you know? And
Yeah.
it's like, you just have to be it's like the first one too, they go together, I think. You just have to be the one that goes, "Alright, well, I'll own this," you know? "Here's what I'll do." And
Yeah.
there you go, you're a leader.
Yeah.
So what Go ahead.
No, say, because you're 100% right. That sense of ownership, I really think, especially over the past few years, I've been kind of realizing this. That sense of ownership is what really makes a leader. You know, because when you own something, you have this sense of purpose toward it. And
Mhm.
you're saying, I want to make this thing win. I want to make it successful, whatever that looks like. I
Right.
want to make sure, whether that be, a relationship, your job, something you're trying to build. If you can say, this ball is in my court, I am going to be the one who makes sure it gets in that basket. And
Mhm.
whether that be I'm going to pass the ball to the person who's got the better shot,
Right.
I'm going to take
Right.
the shot myself, I'm going to intentionally foul. Now I don't know any of the rules of sports,
Well,
but but getting to the place where you say, this is mine, I'm going to do with it.
yeah.
I I tell people all the time now, I'm just like, if I can find somebody who has that sense, then I will give them anything because I
Right.
know for a fact they will take something and they'll get results.
Mhm. 100%. So what about cone it? That's the one that throws me off, cone it.
I needed the word that rhymed.
Okay.
So cone it becomes about bringing people into that cone of trust,
Okay.
where you can talk through the ideas, you can talk through what happened, where you can talk with each other honestly. These are people
Mm,
who are stakeholders, maybe in the thing that failed, or they are trusted voices who can actually speak into it. You give them open access to be able to say,
mm,
"This is the problem that happened. Ask anything. What kind of things do we need to talk through here?" Ultimately you debrief it and you don't go through it alone. Um, what typically happens when we fail and we've got kind of that fixed mindset is we stop ourselves from putting ourselves out there again because we have to be vulnerable around it. Something we
mm,
did broke It's
Mhm.
hurt, it's painful, and so now I'm avoiding people because of it.
Hmm.
Where ultimately we need them to kind of say, listen, you see things I don't see. We embrace with humility the fact that we are temporal, that we only have one set of eyes. We bring our culture, we bring our knowledge behind that. But we're also our own worst critics.
Mm.
So help me understand from your point of view what went wrong with this,
Hmm.
and allowing each of the group, whether that be a team who owns the thing that failed, or
Hmm.
just those trusted advisors, to be able to speak into that. And
Cone
then
it, baby.
really from there, it becomes that hone it or disown it. Hone
Okay.
it being the iterate and improve, where you say, we cultivate grit. We embrace this with courage. We move forward. We make it bite-sized steps. We take all the advice and we say, okay, we're going to try this. That's where you're like the whole idea of the obstacle becoming the way. The
Mm.
obstacle is still there, but you just try a different way around it, and you set plans in place, or you disown it. There's a reality that
Right.
the saying winners never quit is absolutely false, because winners quit all the time. They just quit at the right things.
Right.
And so getting to the point where you can say, okay, maybe we've failed here because we're not prepped for it. We shouldn't be focusing on this. And so sometimes it's okay to say, we failed and we're completely pivoting. And that's a
Mhm.
completely all right thing to do.
Right, when the failing's done,
Yeah.
why are you gonna keep failing? Yeah, so where I trained for martial arts, the guy has a saying that's "Never give up," and I love it. I mean, it's cool. A lot of people get it confused, and I wind up doing these little sit downs with him where it's like, he's not saying never give up ever for everything ever of all time. Like, if like it's like you just said, if you failed at it, you gotta make a decision to continue failing at it or to change what you're doing. That's not what we're talking about, but people do take it literally, and it's a funny thing to think about in retrospect, but I think we missed the point, you know? You can absolutely like, yeah, never quit, but, like, you might need to shut that business down, you know? It ain't making money, it's costing you money, it ain't gonna grow. Like, all the goals you set out for this thing, they're not gonna happen. Like, be realistic. Do something else.
Yeah.
What we mean by never giving up or never quitting is like, do the other thing. Like, actually get up in the morning and go do the other thing.